Tradition log, day 103. Winter has slowed the progress on excavating Nerex, nearly to a crawl by now. Many of the workers have been sent home until warmer days. Most of them are returning to their old jobs at the local sawmill. I'm grateful for their help. Greetings, primates, and welcome back to Thespa. It's been a while since we've been here. Well, today we read that there's a sawmill near town. So where is it? Give you a hint. Right behind my shoulder. That is right, primates. Right about here, I'm going to be putting together a little sawmill. And you might be asking yourself, why? Answer, I need wood. And I need a tree farm. And I think right here is a good spot to put it. So that's what I'm going to do. Naturally, with any sort of build, it requires a lot of resources. And this is just a bit of what I'm going to need. I'm going to need a lot more. So I'm going to do some resource gathering and possibly some digging out. We'll see. And I will see you then. Oh, the weird things I do just to make sure I have all the materials I need. I need to strip all these logs, and I decided to do it this way? Right, because this is the smart way of doing it. How soon will this be until I reach the top of the world? Who knows? And thus the world vanishes before my eyes. Oh! I still got quite a bit left. Well, time to tear this down. We've been on this world for well over a couple years now, and I do not have an automatic tree farm. That changes today. I've been doing some resource gathering and some research. So, what are we waiting for? Let's pop into a time lapse and get this thing built. Wow. We've got a big hole here. Let's put something in it. Ah! Not me! We're going to be putting a tree farm in this hole. And luckily, I've got everything I need right here. Alright, this looks crazy and ridiculous, and it is. But luckily, I know what goes in here. First things first, I'm going to need a lot of stone. So the tree farm that I'm building is designed by ENX04. ENX04 has a fantastic video on how to build this, and it goes through everything that's needed to properly get everything set up right. And it is one of the best tree farm designs I've ever come across. And his video on it is phenomenal. Ian has a way with tutorials. Don't mind me just building a wall for no apparent reason other than I can. Oh, the things I do to make things look pretty. I like it when things look pretty. Well, she ain't pretty, but she worked. Woohoo! Now, I have made some slight modifications to Ian's design. For example, as you can see, there's no clock over here. There is, it's just hidden underneath all this. And I put in a little control panel, so that way I can turn on and off the farm. I can adjust it for the large trees or mushrooms or whatever. And I can even turn on and off the bone meal and fungi dispensers. Now all I gotta do is put the build that goes on top of it in. What am I doing here? Faffing about for? Let's get building. Well, folks, there we have it. The overarching structure. Now I just need to go in and put in all of these supports. This is actually one of my favorite little details that I put in here, is just these supports. It's the small little details that really make a build come to life. And could I put this? There we go. I'm a good builder, I promise. So I'm just going to go around putting in all these supports, and we'll get together with a few other details like the saw that's going to go right here. It's a sawmill. It needs a saw. And then a water wheel and a conveyor belt. Okay, so I may have put in more than just the supports, but hey, it looks good. There is one little feature that I have yet to put in that I would really, really want to see put in, and that is going to be this water wheel. And would you look at that? There's a water wheel. Except it's floating and not connected to anything. You know what? Let's fix that. Well, primates, it is almost completely done and decorated. As you can see, we've got our water wheel, the gear connected to the saw. We've even got a little conveyor belt with a bunch of logs sitting around ready to be brought up for processing. The one thing we're missing is the actual belt itself, because that needs to be made out of dark prismarine, which means we've got to go deal with the ocean monument just over that way. Now, if I remember correctly, I have a conduit lying around here somewhere, or at least a few hearts of the sea. Let me take a look. Okay, I do have a heart of the sea. What I don't have is nautilus shells, which is annoying. All right, looks like I've got to go nautilus shell hunting, which is going to take a while. Luckily for me, I've got time. In the meantime, let's get a couple invisibility potions, because those are going to be helpful as well. So it turns out I, in fact, do not have a conduit. That is okay. I've got a good 40 minutes of invisibility and a few minutes, like 16 minutes of water breathing. That should be enough for me to take care of this monument. That's literally right over here. I'm actually really pleased with it being just right over here, because it's right next to my witch farm. Alrighty, here's what we're going to do. We're going to swoop in all invisible like. We're going to blow this roof off and take care of those Elder Guardians. For those of you who don't know, you can blow up a monument just with sand. Yeah, you can't see me now, can you? Got it. On to the next one. And that's all of the other guardians taken care of. Alrighty. I'm gonna need a few slabs. Now I just fill this line in, and we have a conveyor belt. there is one last little detail. Naturally, we gotta have a log being processed. Well, that does it. This tree farm is now fully decorated and operational. Want to give it a test run? So this farm is fully capable of dealing with oak, birch, spruce, jungle, acacia, and even the netherwood. The only trees it is not set up to deal with are dark oak and mangrove. But I can harvest those manually. I've got a bunch of bone meal down here. And I've got a bunch of saplings in my inventory. So let's get tree chopping. So first things first, activate the bone meal refill. We're going to hit large trees because we're going to do some jungle wood because I do not have a lot of that. Put that in our offhand. Start the farm. Pick up some bone meal. And then just hold right click. And the farm is working perfectly. Alright, so this was a huge success. And with that being said, thank you all so much for joining me. This has been RU Prime, and I'll see you next time. Bye.